I want to start by sort of giving you a little bit of background on our relationship with the Dana-Farber Harvard Cancer Center. So I am a professor of biology at University of Massachusetts Boston, which is a minority serving institution. And when we started this relationship with the Cancer Center, we really wanted to take a holistic approach, but it did take a lot of relationship building that has taken many, many years to build. First from internal sources and then from the National Cancer Institute. And in the partnership that we've built, it's primarily focused on funding projects, but it was clear from the beginning that we couldn't just, that is research projects, but it was clear from the beginning that we couldn't just fund research projects without also focusing on training. And so it has evolved to a core in terms of, so it's not a single program, but it actually a group that provides services at all levels of the pipeline. And we call this the Research Education Core. And the core leaders are listed up on top. That's Joan Becker, Karen Burns-White, some of you in the audience know her, and myself. And we have a core manager, Deidre Writing. So for the core, we really are interested, because it's funded by the National Cancer Institute, we are interested in training the next generation of cancer and cancer disparity scientists, really develop this cadre of skilled individuals who can work as investigators, but not necessarily. We really like the idea of taking a holistic approach to creating diverse options in terms of careers, and also that they're going to be working in the workforce and hopefully dealing with some of the unequal burden in cancer. So we started to work in 2003. Since then, just to give you a little bit of data on the students that we've served. We've served over 200 now, many of them URM, because it's a collaboration effort. Not everybody is URM. It's focused in the basic sciences, population sciences, clinical sciences as well. So the students that we're serving go on to clinical population science nursing research. And if you focus on the left graph there, as you can see, our students are finishing and going on to graduate degrees. They are graduate trainees. They're completing their degrees and moving on. We do have some regular measures, just like many of the programs do as well, and we keep track of the number of publications and the presentations that they do, and the scholarships and awards and so forth. This is really, mostly because we're being, I think, being asked, right, to keep track of the outcomes, and it is something that we have to do as a program to show that the work's successful. But I hopefully in some of the discussions that we have later on, this issue of measuring successes and outcomes comes back. Just I really appreciate that. We are also focusing on diverse set of careers. Not just are they going to graduate school, not only are they getting into medical school, but because we're focusing on the whole pipeline, we're checking to see if our trainees are getting jobs as faculty or as nurses. A lot of our students are nursing students. Do they have positions in research labs and so forth? It's just a sample of some of our trainees listed up there. And so we've really focused on the whole pipeline because it's a core. It's not a single undergraduate program or graduate program. We're focusing on the whole pipeline. Many of the students that are URM are coming from UMass Boston, but not all of them. And we're beginning some efforts at the post-bac and postdoctoral level in this next coming year. We've been doing work with graduate students and early faculty. I'd like to focus on a number of our aims associated with our core. Our framework has been very simple. There's just really three aspects of this. Really, it's to get our individuals who are participating in the core to focus on acquiring that scientific knowledge. We're all in scientific effort here. To develop those communication skills and to really focus on that individual and what they're choosing to do for a career and provide the mentoring that's necessary for them to be successful. The first thing that I'd like to highlight is really that training experience. This is, we think it's key. There's a lot of literature to show that you really need to keep those trainees in research if they're going to be successful ultimately in whatever careers they choose. So just to give you some numbers, in the next 5 years, we're hoping to train another 200 or so individuals at all the different levels, at the undergraduate, graduate, post-bac, and postdoctoral levels. I should mention that all the initiatives that we have to have a collaborating PI from the Cancer Center, at least one, and one from UMass Boston. The undergraduate and graduate trainees, they can be placed anywhere within the Harvard system. That is through either the CURE program, any of our research projects that we fund, or through a cancer center that we started on my campus, the Center for Personalized Cancer Therapy. These are summer or academic year placements, and there's a whole slew of activities that we have implemented, such as in the summer, there's weekly meetings. During the academic year, there's monthly meetings. We do the regular sort of things that you're probably familiar with. And that we have scientific symposia as well, in which students present their research. The post-bac initiative, we haven't started. We hope to start this fall. This will be a one-year hands-on research experience, and they will be placed in one of our research projects or in one of the labs, either on our campus, UMass Boston, or any of the institutes affiliated with the Cancer Center. The Post-doctoral Fellowship Training Initiative, this also is beginning in the fall. This is slightly different from what we've been doing the last 5 years, which has been only a nursing postdoctoral program. This will include, the new one will include a basic science, one nursing fellow, as well as one population science fellow that's being funded directly from Harvard School of Public Health. But the second year of this program, individuals will be going through a training that will primarily focus on developing teaching skills. Additionally to this is that some of the individuals that will be participating in the postdoctoral initiative will not necessarily be funded directly from us, but we will be providing some services, such as developing a mentor teaching experience where the individuals will be either teaching their own course on our campus, which is highly diverse, as I mentioned, but they would also be providing seminars and lecturing in courses. Second aim is to really work with our investigators at all levels. This does include many of them that are undergraduates and graduates, and some of the activities are listed up on top there. I want to maybe focus a little bit more on the faculty. Because the bulk of the work that we do is focused on funding projects, for many of the partnerships that we have it in many cases, a junior faculty member collaborating with a senior faculty member. And we have an opportunity where there's really nice mentoring that can occur. As listed on that table, there are the different projects that we're hoping to fund beginning in September. And you have a list of the mentee and then the senior mentor on the other side. As you can see, the mentoring relationships include a UMass Boston investigator and a Cancer Center investigator. In some cases, they're not necessarily minority. And these early stage investigators, they are closely meeting with their mentor. The ultimate goal, of course, is to get them to get their own funding sources through hopefully NIH mechanisms, but not necessarily advance their careers, hopefully tenure if they're junior, and if they are in an academic track, to develop their mentoring skills. This is evaluated periodically through a committee of individuals who meet with them, and as well as a structured committee that we have within our partnership with something called the Internal Advisory Committee that's specific for that individual. And this is the evaluation that we do is at multi-levels. It does include some online surveys, but it also it really hands-on mentoring between the junior mentor and the senior mentor. The third aim of the core is to really develop some of the mentoring skills. We're very happy with some of the things that you've heard about early on about Norman, because those were the kinds of things that we were also thinking about. So we've been doing some mentor training and mentoring skill developments over the last several years, including bringing in some senior faculty from around the country to talk to our mentors about some best practices. We had David Burgess, who's local, but also Maggie Werner Washburn, who came last year. And not only focusing on the mentors, the faculty mentors, but also postdoctoral and graduate mentors who will learn some of these skills. The fourth aim is to really monitor our success, and the assessment is key. Having the data to assess it is also key. So we have a mechanism in place now where every individual, whether they are at the undergraduate level or at the faculty level, have a demographic or intake sheet that we monitor that individual throughout their career, hopefully. This was developed by a different core that we have within the U54 called the Research Design and Analysis Core. Be happy to tell you about that as well. The evaluation is done internally at the moment. It's not the best thing, but we are having to do this internally, and we do it within the core. This was primarily because of some of the structures that we've built, both developed from the Research Design and Analysis Corp, but also through some of our advisory committees. The last aim is really to try to sustain some of the initiatives that we've built over the years. So we're looking to publish and some of our results and beginning to write for grants to continue some of the programs. And we hope to disseminate some of this information to the community. I think that it's great that this meeting is happening. I really appreciated the opportunity to discuss this with people who are working on some of the same issues. And so hopefully I've given you sort of just a very brief view of what we've done as a partnership with the Dana-Farber Harvard Cancer Center. I think that what we've done is we've been able to leverage some of our strengths as a minority serving institution working with a cancer center. I think that focusing on the diversity of careers is important. I'd like to bring out that slide that Joan presented and maybe end this with the key words that she mentioned, because I really appreciated it, it really captured, I think, what we're trying to do within the core, and that was continuity, consistency, collaboration, creativity, communication, consideration, and commitment. And I think that that really focuses on what we're trying to do, and I appreciate you sort of wrapping it all into one, because I've been thinking about all those concepts, so thank you.